Welcome back to Forager for a new series of the game that's a bit like Zelda, crossed with an idle clicker, and it is incredibly addictive. We've played this game a few times before on the channel. Last time was version 4. I think it was version beta 4 basically, yeah, it was limited, because you could only buy a certain amount of land, you could only get a certain amount of skills, and so on. But now all the limits are off, so we are getting close to the final game by the seams of it. And this is still in closed beta though, it's still in very much in the testing phase. To access this, you need to support the developer's Patreon, and I'll put a link in the description. I think you can also get in via giveaways on the Discord and stuff like that. But yeah, let's get going. Let's buy some land, let's find some dungeons, and let's basically strip mine everything in nature. Ha! Take that, you tree bastard. There, it's been a bad tree. I need to punish it. Right, so let's see. And we just need to start bashing everything. This is very much what you have to do in the early game. So yeah, also in this 6.2 update, there's a few other things added to it as well since version 5, which I skipped over. So I won't go into it too much, but they've added new droid designs apparently, which I know nothing about. And 15 new skills since the last update. All cosmetic items, such as hats, are now apparently in the game. And previously, I think I only had access to like 10%, and I managed to find a top hat, and I think possibly a monocle. It was like a British simulator. Anyway, so as before, we've got a little day-night cycle. We've got slimes that will come and attack us, but only once we've bought our first land extension. And to do that, we will actually start to need to make coins. And let's actually eat some of this stuff that we've been getting, and all that sort of stuff. So yes, he's now going to tutorialise me somewhat. This is like it was previously, but I think there's now a little bit of extra guidance in terms of what you need to do next! Exclamation mark. So we do actually need to make a furnace. We've got enough stone. You need 10 to get going. And then we'll need to make iron ingots and bricks so we can make a forge. Now, I'll probably not have any coal by now, because coal seams don't tend to turn up straight away. So let's make coal by converting some trees. I'm going to press Control, which will allow me to craft as many as humanly possible with the resources that I've got. If you hold down Control, you get like the full amount. If you hold down Shift, you get half amount. And obviously, if you don't hold down anything at all, you get to choose the number yourself. Our first skill. So let's go into let's go into our skill area. So there's a lot more skills than there used to be now, but obviously we have to start right at the start with these choice of 4. And I think in previous playthrough, I stupidly skipped this for ages, and that came back to bite me in the arse. So this is probably a good one to actually start with this time. Right, so you can see the coal is taking forever. So I think I'm going to, from the start, make sure that we've got capacity for days. So I do need 12 stone this time rather than 10. The more structures that you have, the more expensive they get. So I'm going to concentrate on getting a second furnace on the go, although because I've run out of stone now, I will actually have to fall back on the old tree tonking. Got some coal. Yeah, because I want to be making coal, and I also want to be making bricks and iron all at the same time, ideally. So it's always a good idea just to concentrate on that early on. I could also think about doing things like setting up fish traps, but that doesn't seem to be too much of a bother straight off, because we can stick to a diet of cherries of berries and oranges that you get from the tree. These are all orange trees for some reason. I'm getting plenty of XP. You really do jump up the skill levels quite quickly early on, but obviously it gets harder and harder as you go. So yeah, it does pay to try to go for the obvious skills at the start, otherwise they become incredibly expensive later on. As we found out last time! Anyway, I think we probably do need to start gobbling some cherries. I tend to go for the oranges first, just so it cleans out my inventory a bit more. Cherries I always have in my inventory. I'm never going to run out of them. Right, so you don't actually run out of them. Okay, let's get going with... let's actually get going with the iron first. So let's make as many as we can. Then make that second furnace that I promised. I can put that right next to it there. That means while that's cooking away, I can also make a bunch of coal as well. Now we've actually reached night time. Nothing dangerous is going to attack us yet, because we haven't actually got a second bit of land. We haven't got any coins yet, so we can't buy that. But we definitely will have soon, because as soon as I've made bricks and iron ore, we can make our little forge. So many games I keep on mixing up furnaces and forge. See also Card Life, the video that's probably not actually out yet. So forget I mentioned that. Right, so just going to bash these. That's those fireflies. They provide light early on, but later on we'll be able to bottle them for some reason. I can't remember why, but it's a useful thing. So when you buy the land, it's all randomised. When you buy land, we will actually have access to interesting new things, possibly some puzzles as well. Like last time, we solved a few puzzles, but there were a couple we didn't do. There's one involving, I think you have one puzzle, which was actually quite a difficult one, which involved like a dotted square with some numbers on it. And apparently you can only solve that by buying enough land. And unfortunately, in the previous version, we ran out of buyable land. So we couldn't solve the puzzle. But hopefully this time we might actually have a shot at that. Although I'll probably never do it. I'm not that clever. But I am quite skilled. So let's add this. Always a good idea to do this as soon as you get it, because some of them are like things like reduce or increase the amount of XP you get from stuff. The one we've already unlocked did unlock steel and glass, should have mentioned that. But we also gain XP when building structures, so that's a nice one to have early on. Torches, and also here's another one. Structures cost 25% less wood. But on the other hand, I mean, not all structures need wood. So let's go for something else. Either sowing, no, or foraging, yes, because we'll get cotton, wheat, and beets. And cotton we can turn into stuff for sewing and stuff like that. Later on, that'll be good for us. Extra inventory slots. Anyway, back to the night time. Some more gold has spawned. We should probably... Hang on, let's just get that. Let's eat. We should probably try and see if we can actually build this forge now. No, we still actually haven't made the bricks. We've got enough. Yeah, we've got plenty. Anything we can be doing here? We can make some more iron. Ah, beetroot. Look, the beets have started growing. I really want to actually get a new bit of land, but that's coming very soon. As soon as we build the forge, we'll be able to turn gold into coin. Usually, at the start, you get a choice of buying land that costs about 30 quid or about 60 quid. I think we'll probably go for the 30 quid one to start with, just so we've got a bit of extra land to play with. But yeah, the game does tend to reward you going for more expensive land. It tends to put more interesting and valuable stuff on the expensive land. But also, I mean, the further out you get from the starting island, the more expensive things get. If the game is still following the same pattern as before, the different biomes in the game will lie at different compass points. So to the south, maybe the fire world, and to the north, ice, and then there's like a desert to the east and a graveyard to the west. But that may be different, I don't know. So we'll see. We'll have fun finding out, or else. And by the look of it, some wheat is growing in the bottom left. Things grow naturally, but you can also end up planting things once you've unlocked farming. I'm kind of explaining the game, even though I suspect by now a lot of people who are watching this probably actually watched my previous Forager videos. So none of this is actually new. But I'm trying to take this in a bit of a different direction this time. Possibly to the south, but we'll see. Because I did a stream where we actually concentrated on just going south and trying to find the sort of the fire world or biome. We've got one beetroot, let's eat that. Still wants us to build the forge, but we can. Let's put that there. That's literally where we start. Get out of the way. I need to actually move. There. I have designs. I have grand designs with Kevin MacLeod. There we go. I'm going to have a row of furnaces and maybe a row of these, but we'll see. Anyway, that rock's probably going to be in the way of summit, so let's get rid. There we go. Now we can make coins out of... We haven't got any gold ingots. God damn it, of course we haven't. No, I haven't actually done this stage yet. It looks like we will now need to start thinking about getting more coal. It's not spawning naturally, so we'll have to make some wood. Let's make all 12, which will use up pretty much all our wood. What I keep on not doing, I mean, you can walk into things to pick them up. You can also use your mouse, and it'll gather things automatically. That's not really that spectacularly necessary. It's not as if it's... I mean, you're saving all of like half a second. But once you actually get a full screen full of these factories churning stuff out, then it starts to become a bit more useful. And later on, I think there's a skill that kind of like is a magnet skill, which means that anything that's produced in a factory will automatically shoot across into your inventory. Although I'm remembering that from the alpha, I think. Not sure that's actually in the... I'm sure it's in the beta. It must be. But we'll see. Do. Oh, here we go. Finally got the skill we need. Although, let's just quickly whip through some more gold. And... oh, you can actually go beyond that. Whatever. Anyway, so that's 2 gold coins being produced. Let's actually sort out our skill, though. Now, where do we go next? Things like this is okay. I might do that. Could start magic. And fairies, I think, are quite useful for restoring your health and other stuff as well. Economy might be useful to get going. In fact, I'm going to do this because then we can actually buy some land before we can shortcut the whole waiting for coins thing. See, 40 coins, but also we are producing more coins here. So we get, at the moment, these produce 8 per gold ingot. We can get skills that increase that to, I think, 12. I think it's 50% more, if I remember correctly. So I'm actually trying to go for the more expensive land, since we've suddenly got 40 quid. So all I need to do is produce 1 more. I can produce 2 more. Ooh. And we'll be good to go. We can buy new land and have new adventures, but unfortunately then we'll start being attacked by slimes. Maybe at some point we'll be able to make our slimy pickaxe, which is good for summit, but I can't remember what. Right, so we've got 64 coins. Let's get rid of this. Let's eat. And we can finally buy some land. Follow the exclamation mark. We can buy... there's the 60 quid land. Oh, the 80 quid land down there. That's the fire biome direction. Although for the moment we'll be sticking in the green foresty biome. I think it's laid out so it's like 3x3 forest. And then over here there's like graveyard. Over here is desert, fire, and ice. I might be wrong though. It might have changed. But let's go north. Now, the land over here, 720, 220, whatever. These stay the same price, so these are still cheap, but going north will, be quite expensive if we keep on doing that. So I'll need to build a bridge. That's quite straightforward. One change for 6.2 is that you can now demolish bridges. I'm not quite sure why you'd do that, but it's there if you need it. I'm going to build 2. Meanwhile, I think I actually will start on the fish. I don't want to put it anywhere where it'll get in the way later on, so let's just put in a couple here. Yeah, that'll do for now. Only costs wooden berries. Right, so we have got... I think that's the museum. So let's just pop inside. This mate is the collector. Welcome to the museum! Our collections are rather incomplete at the moment. Feel free to help me fill the bundles. You will get a reward for each one completed. Ooh. And a super special reward if you complete them all. Fine. Fine. And fine. So yeah, there's all sorts of things here. You just have to basically feed the bundles. And that's with bottled insects. Cooked food. Stuff to do with magic. Rare, weird archaeology things. I think you get them from fishing or possibly shoveling, and so on. Really, this is purely for the relentless collectors amongst you. I'm not really a completionist, but this is the sort of thing that as you start to get a surplus of stuff, you might actually want to start giving him stuff. But for now, let's not worry about that. Now we've got our first enemy, which we can't even see. But now, if you go behind there, it will go translucent. We've got slime, which means we can actually use that to do some crafting. Let's just get some of this. It's always a good idea to keep the population of nature under control, because as you demolish things, it will inspire the game to grow more stuff. As I understand how it works. Get rid of you. Well, let's see if we can actually make a slimy pickaxe. How much do we need for that? We need a bit more jelly and a bit more iron. Right, so let's do that. Get some iron. We can make 7. So we just need to kill another slime, but there doesn't seem to be any flapping about at the moment. Yeah, we better eat. The fish should be jumping into the traps at some point soon. But yeah, it's not telling us yet. Right, let's try and find a slime. Any slimes around? No. I definitely think you can encourage new enemies to spawn by killing old ones, but there's still timers involved. It's starting to be cotton now as well, which is quite useful for stuff. We could probably do with making a sewing machine or table or whatever it's called. At some point we can bung this probably next. Let's give it to the wheat. And whilst we wait for some slimes, let's make us. Let's see what it's actually called. A sewing station. Just need a bit of extra brick. So let's see. Should we make them all? Oh, yeah, may as well. There's no downside to having huge, great stacks, I don't think. Ah, here we go. We have seaweed, not very useful at this point. And fish! Fish. Fish. Since I'm not able to cook at the moment, I can just eat the fish raw, and there won't be a problem there. But what I will do, I think, is get rid of the seaweed entirely. I can't remember if there's anything really real use for that at the moment, so I might as well get rid of it. Can you eat the wheat? No, you can't. Right, just checking. Right, so now we've got enough stuff to make our sewing station, so we'll make that there. Put that in the corner because it's possibly the one I'm going to be using the least. Get you. Right, so at the moment we can make thread out of all the cotton that we make, out of all the fibre that we're collecting, but that's not really very useful for stuff. A small backpack. Oh, the small backpack. Flowers and thread. Small wallet. Not really worried about that at the moment. So a small backpack is probably something that we should be going for soon, but not priority, but once we actually start getting a bit more cotton turning up, I keep on calling it cotton, it's actually fibre, and then we'll definitely get on with that. And then there's the medium backpack. God almighty, bloody medium backpack. Yeah, we don't talk about that. Right, skills. Let's get going with this. Yes, that seems like a nice thing early on. I'm keen actually to start expanding the economy skill tree though. Like this one, for instance, you get 4 extra coins every time. Yeah, that's the one that turns you from getting 8 coins to 12 coins in the forge. So I think maybe I'll hold back on making any more coins. I don't know though, because we are. Do we want to expand? Maybe. Yeah, we'll see. So I need cotton fibre to get a backpack. Do we need to get anything from here at the moment? Well, we can. Oh yes, slimy pickaxe. We're still waiting for another slime to turn up. This is why sometimes I end up concentrating on several things at once, because you discover there's always some reason that you can't. Oh, here we go. That you can't continue down one line until something else has spawned. But now it seems that we have enough slime, so let's make the slimy pickaxe, which will improve our experience of tonking tremendously. I mean, there is a whole series of pickaxes that you can upgrade to. I know definitely need to make sure that we get plenty of gold. Here we go. Oh, I keep on trying to tonk the things, which is not ideal. Sand is useful, but not necessarily right now. But since we've now got the inventory, the extra inventory slots, I'm not too concerned. Now, so far we haven't really filled up the inventory, but that does happen so much. Your inventory gets so full, and it's a juggling act. Hence why I try, when it comes to food, I try and eat the things that I've got least of first. Although in this case I've only got berries. Just because that often... oh, we've only got one more berry left. That often frees up inventory slots for other stuff. Oh, slime! It looks like I'm going to have to start increasingly relying on fish. I haven't actually got enough berries to make another fish trap, I don't think. So that's not something I can do right now. Ah! My pickaxe has arrived. Let's just get it remotely. There we go. Slimy pickaxe. Damage is increased by 75%. Gain 50% more jelly when killing slimes. So yeah, it's not great. It doesn't really help foraging. It's more of an aggressive thing. It's like a little bit of a sword. few flowers. Flowers are, well, they have a few uses. We've been getting a bit of cotton fibre now, so let's try and get some thread on the go. Literally only 2. Bloody hell. Right, get you. Yeah, so they're a lot easier to tonk now. Oh, there's another one. I could hear that rather than see it. Oh, there's some more cotton fibre. God damn it. 3 fibres. So that's more fibre that's growing, but I really wish I could plant some at the moment, but no. There's some more. Now that should actually be enough. There we go. That might actually start to get to be enough to make the backpack. I can't remember what else it actually needed. First, let's grab some of this stuff. I'm determined to skill up and get that 8 to 12 thing before I start converting all my gold, because we've got... Let's actually make some... Let's make 7 coals. Let's be putting things to use. Anything here? Yeah, we're really running low on... Actually, I haven't actually got much iron ore, surprisingly. Things aren't spawning... Things are spawning slower than I can actually use them at the moment, which is not... Oh, hello. Hello, gold. Fancy meeting you here. You bridge-blocking prick. But, yeah, you have to continuously make sure that you are up to date with all your harvesting. So, I should have enough to make a small backpack. Yes, we've got all the flowers. This will increase our inventory space, and it'll all be lovely. Hello, slime. And a flower. Looks like there's more fish ready to be harvested. Sand. Fish! Fish! It's a double fish situation. That's rather jolly. Oh! That's really restored my... Yeah. There we go. Got beetroot to eat up as well. Beetroot. A bit more berries. I might actually now be able to make another berryarium. Berryarium? No, fish trap. Build. Farm. Fish trap! Da, 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 da. Now that's going to get annoying, not being able to get to that thing from the bottom side, so we're going to build a little bridge there. There we go. And you can build on top of bridges as well, so you can really expand your empire. If you've got like a nasty bit of land with a lot of water in it, you can convert it into land. Anyway, we've got ourselves a small backpack, which literally only gives you inventory, so that's all it's good for. But that's useful, because we are starting to get more stuff now. What do we need to get from over here? Is there something behind there? I think there is. Let's just go to this tree, because I'm sure there's something behind there. Oh, it's just a bit of... it's just some crazy paving. Crazy paving, something I haven't thought about in years. It was all the rage back a million years ago. Oh, slime! I've actually had a good run of not actually dying yet. Well, I haven't actually lost a single bit of health at all during this entire thing, which is rather nice. So at the moment my goal is to level up, which should happen very soon, and then we can start making coins, and then we'll buy up some more land. We're not going to get up to like a 270 land. I think we'll probably just expand to either left or right. Maybe even find an obelisk. That'd be nice. Right, so we've got the skill. Let's get going. What do we want? Where do we want it? Oh, unlock shovel, windmills and bread. This is almost certainly what we should do. I'm just going to have a quick check around. I mean, no, actually this is what we're going to do, wasn't it? Yeah, let's do this. This feels like an early game type thing. That actually unlocks banks. And also the marketplace up there, which is very handy if you want to sell stuff. I think it's more for selling than buying, really. Right, so now I've actually got that skill. Let's start making gold. Oh, I've got to make the gold ingots, yep. How many of these can I make? What I'm going to do is I'm going to make 6 in each, rather than 12 in one. Therefore, we'll get them all the quicker. That's why you need two of everything. Fish, fish, sand, seaweed. This time I'm going to keep the seaweed because we've got inventory space. Although, if necessary, we'll end up getting rid. I'm in two minds about whether we should have more than one of these forgers. But I don't really use it nearly as often as the furnaces, so I don't know. It seems a bit of a waste of materials, but I don't know. I'll only build stuff if I really feel like I need to. I don't want to spunk things on unnecessariness. I mean, I may even at some point make a third furnace. In fact, let's see how much that is at the moment. Because this is furnace number 3, it is a little more expensive, but not that much more. There we go. See if there's anything else we can be making. Let's make that so we're not using all our wood. Now we are starting to get the coin. Worth 12 now, which is all very tasty. And I can keep on feeding it into here. Yeah, all 8. Was I even making coins before? I don't think I was. Right, yep. So now we're just waiting to get all our stuff. So let's be filling up the filling up the lonely hours by gathering some more stuff, eating more food. Anything else? Fish! Oh, some wheat is growing. Also a little slime to tonk. Tonk. And some trees. Wheat is all very useful once we start to get to unlocking that farming skill that I almost unlocked a couple of minutes back. But for now it's just there, clogging up my inventory. Oh wow, 72 quid. That's easy enough to buy some new land. So let's do that thing. We can't get that. 270? 320. But we can get either of these. That's the desert. No, actually that won't be because it was still the Greenland. I've got to decide whether I want to ultimately be heading towards the desert or the graveyard biome. I think the desert's probably a bit more. Oh, we've got chesty poos. Ah. So yeah, the desert will be there. 280 quid though for that. Well, we are not doing too badly on the old cash sitch. But that's it for coins now. Once those are done, we won't be able to make any more for the time. Oh, whoa, 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 hello! Hello, N. Sorry, I didn't mean to kill you quite as early as that, but hey-ho. Anyway, we won't be able to get any more gold for now because I haven't actually got any gold ore, so we'll have to wait for that. Now we need to actually make our bridge, and then we'll open the chest. Oh god, I will actually need more gold then because I want to make a key. Oh, actually, I have got enough. Right, I'll be making the key. What am I doing? Building, farming, bridge. There we go. And there's a little chesty poos. All fat and lovely looking. Oh, baby. What treasure do you contain? What trove is in your belly? Well, let's find out. Key! And I've got the top hat. Oh, that's actually got a 50%. Oh, hello. Coins are worth 50% more. And I've got a cutest little hat. Oh, look at that. Well, we're back in Forager, and we'll be making more episodes as we go. So if you do like the episode, yeah, do all the usual things like comment, and even subscribe. Maybe. And all that. Yep, so as I say at the start, you can get hold of this at the moment via the developer's Patreon, which I'll link to in the description. And I've also got a Patreon myself if you want to help support me making these videos. Again, the link's in the description. And if you want to join my Discord and chat about indie games and weird stuff, and dank memes, whatever the hell you kids do. Well, that's there. The Discord. Yeah, all that. Right, okay, so we'll pick this up again in the next episode. And bye for now. Thanks for watching.